Okay, calculus people, this is a short video about what's happened in week number 5. Now, those that were in the meeting yesterday recognize I went through a list of items that we really need to be knowing. So I'm just going to take a minute and make a video on this so that you have it. Number one, May the 12th is the day of our exam. I'm asking everyone in the class, all three of you, okay, to mark that day and do not do anything, do not set an activity to do that day till like the evening hours. Remember, our exam is at 2 o'clock, so our head needs to be in the game. It's your opportunity and to do your very best and to represent the school. Number 2, please make sure you have finished the chapter 7 and the trapezoidal work. That is like the end of the course, and that was done 2 weeks ago. This is a reminder. So chapter 7 work, remember there was a quiz and you had to put your assignments online. And then I mentioned the trapezoidal rule. And there's a lesson on that. I made a video on that. And then there were exercises on that. And if you will look on week 5 folder, you'll see a little assignment tool for you to click on and post that assignment. So get that to me. That will be graded. Okay, item number next has to do with that packet. That packet is this guy right here. And I know there was some lack of clarity at the beginning of the shutdown. I get it. So what I asked you to do was do that first packet. And then, later on they said, oh, you don't have to do anything. So what I'm going to do, I want to try to do the right thing. You did that packet. I'm going to give you credit for that packet. There'll probably be some extra credit. So keep that in mind. I know that content was about the second grade, but it is what it is. All right, number 3. So after we're done with the course, we're in review mode, like R, review, okay? Now, what that means is we're reviewing. We're reviewing the course that's going to be tested on the AP exam, which is what? Units 1 to unit what? Unit 7, okay? So keep that in mind. I guess I could have done, let's see, I could do that and then 2, that makes 7. I'm asking you to go to week number 4, I think it is, and to read that little PDF document about the 2020 exam. I spent about a half an hour to an hour finding that and getting that document, so please read it very carefully. All right, this brings us to item number 5. We need a strategy. The coach needs, here's our plan to win the game. So here's our strategy for us to get ready for the AP exam. If you or your parent wants to comment on the strategy or offer suggestions, you are welcome to do through email. So please keep that in mind. But after thinking and gathering everything together, here's the strategy. Number 1, we review the content. And we're going to do that by going through the unit progress checks on the AP classroom. Good news is if you already did that, all you got to do is look it over and change any incorrect answer to a correct answer. So you may have noticed unit 1, I had all the answers up there for you in that previous week number 4 folder. Okay, so number 1, we're reviewing by going over the multiple choice, unit 1 to unit 7. Number 2, most important, we're doing the free response questions on the AP Classroom in the project checks or progress checks, unit 1 to unit 7. Unit 7. Okay, not going to waste our time with unit 8 because it's not going to be tested. Number next. Strategy, I want you to go through the weekly folders And you'll notice that every now and then I email you a message in the morning about coming to a help session. So what I'm going to do is in these help sessions, which are what time in the afternoon? 2 o'clock. Can you say that? 2 o'clock. So that you know when they're going to be. So we got one today, which this day is Wednesday. And for the first 5 minutes, I'm going to have an update. Okay, so it's information I feel you need to remember or you need to know about. So keep that in mind. So that's our strategy. We're going to go through the units. I'm timing it. Like last week was becoming familiar with the AP Classroom, fixing anything that you have to get right on your computer to make the AP Classroom work. And then this week, or last week, Unit 1, then this week, 2 and 3. So keep that in mind. Also, I need to let you know that the administration sent out some directions. And in the last help session, I showed the document, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I'm clicking on it right now on my computer, and basically they're saying new instruction continues until May the 1st. After that, only review. And if someone didn't do some makeup work, make sure you have that done. So really, we only have one person. You need to make sure that you got your Chapter 7 work done. Everybody make sure you have your trapezoidal work turned in. That's pretty much it on that. And then lastly, and most importantly, in that little important information, last item, I call it your job. So what is your job? Well, the first thing I'd like you to do is I'd like you to review the course description. So you may remember I had a binder, a little spiral binder or comb binder, and then I told you they sent me this as an AP teacher. Isn't that nice? So it's called the course description. And so I'm probably going to have like a little matching on this or true and false on this. So make sure that you're looking at that. Now, what I did is I went through that comb binding. I remember I called it the Bible of the class. I went through it 2 times completely. And in the last 3 weeks, I went through it very, very carefully. I told Emma I read every single word in that document. Now, there's a couple pages I did not read every word. I'm going to fix that, though. I'm going to be reading it before too long. But you really, really need to be familiar with the gist of that document. And I'll be pointing some things out. I may make a little video on that or little short videoettes on that so that you can review. But I'm going to give you a little test on that to see if you have been looking at that. So number 1, the course description. Number 2, the unit reviews. Number 3, the unit project checks. That's not optional. You got to do it. If you did it before, no problem. And by the way, if we're doing Unit 2 and 3 this week and you want to go ahead and you see that on the AP Classroom, go for it, okay? You can always go ahead. And then when we are done, right, well, I'm sorry, while we're doing those, I'm going to be offering help sessions during the week. So by the time we come to the end of the week, you should have the answers to all your questions. Now, please keep in mind, it's your responsibility to do the problems and check the answers, especially the multiple choice, and to correct any problems you got wrong. I expect you to have 3 or less problems to ask on the multiple choice questions when you're coming to the help sessions. Why is that? Well, if you've been following along and reading, you know exactly why. And you know the free response questions are very important. So in the sessions, you should be asking me questions about the free response. And hopefully you've got most of those done, but you just need some help understanding or working through some of those parts. And I will be happy to help you with that. Now, I'm thinking we're going to get done with a few days left over. I believe it would be helpful for us to do the 2019 and then the 2018. But I need to let you know, I think we need to focus on the free response. So it would be good for us to do the 2019 free response questions. I will post them, okay? And then maybe the 2018, maybe, okay? Now, I want you to know I've been doing some research and I've had some people. Matter of fact, the teacher from Cedartown High School um, contacted me and said she's been looking as well and she suggests looking at such and such material. So I am looking at what she has and we're going to be including it in the next update, not today's, but the next one after today, and I'll share that as well. So I'm following my plan. You should have this. I hope I did not make it complicated. Your job, course description, unit reviews. By the way, there's some videos on that. Look in my week 5 folder. And then next, your unit project or progress check. Free response, do those. Come for tutoring on that. The tutoring happens after the update. So my updates are going to be 5 minutes or less. So please keep that in mind. And then when we're done with all of the units 1 through what? 7, that's right. We should get ready, you should be ready. The only other advice I would have would be 2 things. I would mention to you this AP exam is open textbook and open notes. Now you may be saying, yay, but I'm going to tell you time is going to be the killer on this. So my advice, put all your formulas on the backs of those cards I gave you so you know very quickly where to find information that you may need to reference when you're doing a problem. Keep that in mind. Also, time will be of the essence. So if you are half-heartedly preparing, guess what? On the AP exam, you will get a half-hearted grade. So what you need to do is you need to concentrate when you're doing your practicing problems, and then whatever you don't get right, you got to figure out. Just keep on doing that, and that'll help you get better and better. It does work. It works if you work it. All right, that's all I have. I wanted to give you that information in case you were not here for that session. Thank you.